Hello guys, we're currently on our way to the last Level Games. We haven't been here in 2 months. I'm actually looking forward to this because now we collect for both N64 and PS2, so we should pick up stuff in here. Obviously PS2 first, but it's probably going to be N64. Anyway, welcome to PS2 Mini Games.
PS2 Mini Games.
Hello everyone, welcome to PS2 Mini Games, another N64 episode coming at you. Cleopatra. I have no idea where that came from. It's got a flashback to my childhood. The terrible girl group Cleopatra. Ugh. I gotta splice that shit in now. Anyway, welcome to PS2 Mini Games. Very, very good day at Last Level Games. My favourite game store in Norwich by far. Every time I go there, I always try to spend more in there than do at Norwich CEX, because always got to help out the little independent store. They've helped me out immensely in the last 2 years, and once again, we did a bit of a ram raid on the N64 stuff. We'll get to in a little while, but yeah, we got quite a few shovelware carts, plus something really nice. So we'll get into it shortly. Things are going shockingly well for the channel. As you've already seen, we picked up the really incredibly rare Samurai Western for the PS2. Honestly, so far I'm playing it, it's as good as I thought it was going to be. I'm ecstatic getting that game, and I thank Game Rarities once again for that. When you play games, it's like it's never worth some of the price you pay these days. But some of these games, once the price goes up, it rarely comes down. Unless you get like thousands of copies just turn up from Italy. Rule of Rose. So that game's probably never going to get below £200 ever again. So we bit the bullet, we bought the game, and I'm elated to have it. Good stuff. Enough of PS2 stuff, let's get the N64 subsection, or sub-genre, or subset. Something to do with subs. Subscribe! Let's pass the hella cringe moment. When I went to Last Level Games, I always had a good chance. I thought I'd pick up some carts for the N64. I didn't imagine getting 15 though. Yes, we have 15 carts to go through. It's going to be a long episode. And there's some real shovelware in here. Which is strange because when they got released, I wouldn't really... Actually, you know what? That's a lie. There wasn't really any like shovelware in the N64 library. Every game released for it was like a sports game was meant to like sell well. Just by modern day standards, when you look at these games, you think they're not that expensive. You understand what I mean? So none of these were intended to be shovelware, and some of them are very good games, but now they're literally just like bland sports games / wrestling games. You kind of forget that at the end of the day, people pay full price and enjoy the hell out of them. But there are some sports titles in here which feel very shovelware by today's standards. So we're going to be scratching off quite a few, and it's gone limp on me. I can't really help that.
What an idiot!
We're going to be scratching off quite a few on the list here. So that's always a good thing. It's going to be hilarious because we're actually approaching 50 carts already. So we're nearly like 20% of the way already to a full cart set. That just shows you how small this collection is compared to the PS2. There is a very good chance I will find every cart for the N64 before I complete the PS2. There is a very good chance that's going to happen. There is some rare stuff, but I think for the right people, I can find this stuff before the PS2 stuff, because some of this stuff is like needle and haystack stuff. It's incredibly hard to find. There's a couple of games I've been looking for lately. For PS2, I'm going to splice in the real name, but I think that's how I pronounce it. Sogu, oh good lord, Segukku, Soguru Anthology. That is nigh impossible to find on the PS2. You can find the PC version quite easily, and you could pay maybe a tenner for it. The PS2 version, no, it's that rare. It's one of those games where it's like you're not going to find it. Raw Danger for the PS2, but CX didn't even sell it. But that's a really hard game to find too. I don't think I'm going to have that problem with any of the kart games of the N64 if I really delve deep. That's what I'm trying to get across here. We're just going to delve into it because it's going to take us quite a while, and I'm going to be editing this one. The N64 stuff, I'm probably going to edit up most of that myself, because give Dave the PS2 stuff, give myself the N64 stuff. Because I think... Because... Let's go tell the truth. Dave is not a fan of the N64.
I fucking hate the N64. I'm sorry.
He really isn't. A lot of people aren't. So Dave's knowledge of N64 stuff is somewhat limited. Dave's watching this right now. He's just thrown his breakfast on the floor. Limited. Sorry. Anyway, we're just going to go through one by one because these games were not expensive, and I paid maybe £1 more. I paid a CX for the equivalent, but I don't care. I'll happily give £1 extra to last level games than to CEX. I don't know why. Maybe because I like them more than CEX. But we've got some real like low-end N64 stuff. We're going to start off with Mission Impossible. Now, I'll be honest, a lot of these games I'm picking up right now I have never played. I have no knowledge of this. But I'm assuming this is based off the film Mission Impossible. I mean, it's got Paramount Pictures logo right there. Made by Ocean, so this could be made well, but I somewhat doubt it with that price. I have never been a fan of Tom Cruise. I think Tom Cruise is one of the most overrated actors of all time. Also, his allegiance to Scientology is very questionable at best, because that's just a cult. And I'm not going to criticise people's choices, but I respect religions, not cults. I don't respect cults. And there's been programs documenting their cult-like behaviour. And Tom Cruise is just a weird person in general. He really is. I mean, a lot of people think... I mean, he's clearly... How can I put this? He doesn't like the fact he's short. The amount of times he's wearing shoes that give him like 2 or 3 extra inches, you can watch it. He's also exhibited some strange behaviour in the past. But I will respect him because he does his own stunts. He really does. I've seen... so he's got balls on him. I just think he's not on the same planet as most of us. Anyway, the game's probably shit. We'll move on. Game number 2, which cost me a little more than £3. Premier Manager 64. Now, first of all, that's Kevin Keegan on the cover. What does he know about winning anything? That's going to piss off so many people. And I'm a Newcastle fan, by the way. But it's factual. Premier Manager was a management football game from the past. There was a weird time period in the late 90s, early 2000s where there was like so many different football management games you could choose from. Obviously, Championship Manager was the kingpin, and that morphed into Football Manager, I think. No, Championship Manager was the kingpin, and the team split in two. Most of them went to Football Manager, which is still the number one football manager game to this day. I think the other one, which was Championship Manager, they stayed, and that kind of like died a death. Then there was like Premier Manager, which was a half-decent management game on the PC, but that also died a death. I think that went to like the late 2000s and died. Then there was, oh good lord, what's the one on the PS2, which like 4 or 5 of them, where you could actually build your own stadiums, like design it yourself. That was a cool concept. Good lord. I wouldn't mind, but it's like, I know what the games are, but I don't know what to begin with, so I don't know which way to look on the shelves. It's going to fucking drive me mad now for the next minute or so. Cut. LMA Manager. That's what I'm talking about. LMA Manager, which actually were good games. You could build your own stadium. These were pretty cool. And there's been other football management games, but Premier Manager was alright for the day, but trying to play that game on an N64 sounds terrible. Football management games are only really built for good lord. They're only really built for PCs, with the occasional one doing well on PS2 and vice versa. And there's a reason why Football Manager is still going strong today. Well, I say going strong. They cancelled this year's edition because they couldn't incorporate females into the game. It was too hard, so they cancelled it completely. Bit of an own goal for that one. Next game up, Virtual Pool 64. An American pool game. These are actually strangely popular on consoles. I'm sure it played well. I'm sure the graphics probably aged pretty badly for N64 standards. I have really nothing else to speak about. American pool can be fun if you know the rules. A lot of English people do not know the rules of American pool, though, so I can't really specify for that one. So, I really have nothing to say about that. By the way, you might notice when I'm doing the games now, when I'm editing, I will try and splice music in the background from that game. But if I can't find what I would call one decent bit of music from the OST, I won't do that. So you notice there are certain games in the last 2 or 3 weeks where like silence in the background. That's because the soundtrack was shit. Anyway, moving on. I mean, if you want shit, I'll give you shit. This is probably the most shovelware game of them all on the N64. Michael Owen World League Soccer 2000. I'll be honest, I never knew this game existed until I got the list for the N64. And I found it straight away. First of all, could you tell from that face that was Michael Owen? Because I couldn't. Because honestly, that just looks like a generic white man. Until you put Michael Owen on the case, you would think that could be anyone. I know it's young Michael Owen, but even young Michael Owen, you couldn't tell that was him. I'm going to splice footage in, but once again, I have no knowledge of the game. But we're going to do 2 and 2 here, because football games were quite abundant on the PS2. I'm so used to saying PS2. We're quite abundant on the N64. World Cup 98. So that was a World Cup in 98. I know, shocking. Obviously, France won their home World Cup, which is pretty cool for them. That was the World Cup where we got the last 16. We played Argentina. David Beckham got himself sent off for being a tit. And we lost that game on penalties. I think it was David Batty who missed the penalty. You never forget the people who miss. Our team wasn't fantastic. We had Owen and we had Shearer up front. So, we had a decent team back in those days. But we probably lost the French that day. The French team was amazing. The Brazilian team could have won if Ronaldo, that's fat Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo. Did have like a mental breakdown before the game. What else can I say about World Cup '98? I'm probably going to splice in the French theme for the actual World Cup, because that was actually not a bad music track. It really wasn't. Anyway, we're going to move on from the football games. I lied! International Superstar Soccer '98. Never played this. I'll be honest, I never knew there was a sequel to it, but there was in '98. Now, my football knowledge was pretty decent. Obviously, this gentleman is Paul Ince, a man who thought he was better than he actually was. This guy, I want to say that's Ravanelli from Middlesbrough. I hope I'm correct, because yeah, I hope I'm correct. I really am. There's that weird time when Middlesbrough had Ravanelli, Janino, and it's like, what? How are these players who are rather decent going to this shithole town in the north called Middlesbrough? I've been to Middlesbrough. It's one of the roughest places I've ever been to. Fact. For those who live in Middlesbrough, I do apologise, but it's rough. It's rough. Oh, good lord. I'm going to upset someone one day and they're going to throw a punch at me. Good luck with that. I'm going to take care of myself. There's some of these games I have no knowledge of, so I can't really give an opinion. I know of reputation with certain games for being bad. I've played the 96 version of that game, which is rather good. Which obviously the meme of Ronaldinho Salsa. I will play that to see if it's any better, but something tells me it's probably the same game. But it was made by Konami. And if I know anything about Konami, they made some good sports games in the N64. They really did. I'm going to wrap up this half of the episode with FIFA 99! Dennis Birdcamp, a man with incredible skill. If only he scored more goals. You look at Dennis Birdcamp's goal ratio, it's not that great. I'm going to piss someone off watching that, but honestly, maybe I'm being harsh on Dennis Birdcamp, but... Sorry, something came on my phone there. Maybe I'm being harsh on Dennis Birdcamp, but goal ratio to game ratio wasn't that brilliant. But he had some awesome skill. Might splice some of that skill in, but doubt it. FIFA 99, not much to say. FIFA still the dominant brand in football. Which I think it's not called FIFA anymore. I think they lost the rights, but you know what I mean. Right, we're going to put the commercial here because we're roughly halfway through the carts. I will see you on the other side.
Muffin is a tabby, Buddy is a retriever, and Kirby is, well, Kirby is just Kirby.
Kirby's back with amazing new attack combinations in Kirby 64. Rated E.
And we're back. Right, we've gone through what we call the lower end of the kart games. The majority of these kart games were probably actually good, and some of them I know are good from playing them on different consoles. But some of them probably are pretty bad. Anyway, we'll start off with, we actually got the box version of this, but now we actually got the karts. 1080 snowboarding. It says it twice. We went through this in detail last time in '94. We got the box version. We now got the kart. So that is the first on the list where we have got both versions. Never had to look for it again, and I never had to. Oh, good lord, remix. I never have to open the box version again if I don't want to. So that's the whole point of this collection. Yeah. Next game, Top Gear Rally. I have no knowledge of this game. I've got an affinity for racing games, so this could be good, but by the price tag, it's probably not. It's probably not that good at all. But I could be wrong, to be honest. See, it's kind of weird because I have no knowledge of this, so I can't really give opinions. I mean, rally games in the past have been good and are still quite popular to this day. Obviously, Colin McRae ran on the PS2 was popular until he had a horrific helicopter crash that killed him. I don't know if Rally is still as popular as it was back in the day. People can give some comments on their opinion on Rally. I think it's a dangerous sport. I think it's a very competitive sport. Robert Kubica, he lost his goddamn life rallying. One of the best races of all time. He would have been if he didn't have that horrific accent. By the way, the man won Le Mans. I think he won Le Mans this year. He won Le Mans after nearly losing his life, nearly losing part of his hand. was in, I think it was a Mediguy's coma for months, came back, won Le Mans. Kubica is one of the toughest motherfuckers you will ever meet in your life, and apparently a genuinely nice human being, and apparently the only Polish racing driver on the planet. You don't really think of racing drivers from Poland. Robert Kubica. And that's what I think about Top Gear Rally. Next game, Racing Simulator Monaco Grand Prix. Now, I think this is not affiliated with F1 in any way, but it's kind of got the same F1 feel. I have seen gameplay for this, and it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. £6 this costs, so there must be something to this, because this costs more than most of the games I've got today. Everyone knows my affinity to Formula 1. I know more about past Formula 1 than I know about modern day Formula 1. Like, the last 10 years, I couldn't tell you many teams and drivers, but anything from the mid to late 90s to the early 2000s, I can pretty much nail anything. World champions, I know pretty much near all the world champions of the last 25 years. When you play computer games, you learn drivers. It's weird, right? I can literally tell you the whole field for the 95-96 season and the teams they drove for. That kind of shit. It's like, why is that knowledge in my head? And the only reason I can tell you that is because I used to play Grand Prix Manager 2 on the PC. Good game, by the way. So we're just going to break up the knowledge right now. For those who don't care, skip this. 95-96 season for Williams, Damon Hill, who would become the champion, and Jack Villeneuve as partner. Benetton had John Lacey and Gerhard Berger. Ferrari had Michael Schumacher and Eddie Irvine. McLaren had Mika Hakkinen and David Coulthard. Jordan had Rubens Barrichello and Martin Brundle. Sauber had Heitz, Frentzen and Johnny Herbert. Ligier had Olivier Panis and Pedro Diniz. Good lord. Tyrrell had Yuko Katayama and Mika Salo. Footwork or Arrows had Jos Verstappen and the terrible racer that was Riccardo Rossi. Minardi had Gianfranco Fisichella and Pedro Lamy. And Fonte had a man I cannot pronounce, Andre Montemene and Luca Badoa. That is literally 22 teams and drivers I've just made there. I'm a fucking nerd. And that's how much I love Racing Simulator. Wow, this is going to be a nerdy episode. Really is. Right, we've got we've got 4 kart games left and something else. But these ones actually look like games which people enjoyed immensely. This is actually cheap and I remember. WWF Attitude. So this is the game that came out after Warzone. And the last game made by Acclaim for WWE. Because the next game that we made will be WrestleMania 2000. And obviously for the N64. I mentioned it before, the Acclaim games, the combinations, they were decent games at the time, but the far better versions were on PlayStation 1 for both Warzone and WWF Attitude. Obviously, this is the last game that included Owen Hart before his horrific accident. An accident that should not have happened, or because Vince Russo is an idiot. I'm not going to laugh at that, that's just factual. It played well back in the day and has quite a story, not a story mode, but like a championship mode, which you go for the rankings, but by modern standards and graphics, it's not that good. It really isn't. WWF WrestleMania 2000 and No Mercy are so much better than them as Unreal. Beats them in every way. No joke, just factual. We're moving on. Next game, a game which is actually quite popular. Shadow Man. So much so that one of the owners of Last Level Games said this was their favourite N64 game when they were growing up. And I would believe them. I've been told good things about Shadow Man. I think there's a Shadow Man on the PS2. Just going to quickly look to the left here. Shadow. There it is. There's Shadow Man Second Coming. So this was actually quite a popular game. Did well on the PS2 and N64. I've never played the N64 version, so I'm intrigued. I really am. The next 2 games cost me a little more, £8 for the new Tetris. Because as we know, the old Tetris was boring and no one ever plays that to this day. It's not like Switch bought out a Tetris 99 3 years ago, which was so competitive it was unreal. In all seriousness, I don't know what the hell the new Tetris is. Probably a new way of playing Tetris, but obviously never caught on. I've mentioned this before. Till this day, I don't know if this is still true or not, before the war anyway, Russia made more money from Tetris than any export they've ever made. Let me say that again. Tetris is literally one of Russia's most profitable items ever made. The game Tetris obviously came from Russia, makes Russia millions upon millions each year. And I think it's still to this day one of the, if the most profitable games ever made for a handheld or gaming console. I'm not even joking when I say that. Because obviously you can find it on, you can play Tetris on PC quite easily, you can find it online anywhere. Every version of Tetris. It's an easy game to play and find. Very addictive game. But that's made so much money for Russia, I have no idea. And I do love Tetris. One of my favourite videos growing up in the last 15 or 20 years, there was a YouTube video about the Tetris gods. And just this guy sitting down there shouting out like squiggly. It's like, the gods being harsh. It's like, line piece. I might splice some of that in.
Give him something, Lord. Reverse L block. Give him anything! L block.
Oh yes, of course he can use that to plug the gap, but then the column would be unusable.
Line piece. No. Line piece.
Lord, you have forsaken us all.
Line piece. What a cruel and angry God! Line piece!
The last cart game, a game which I played on PC, phenomenal game on PlayStation, Worms Armageddon. Nearly every Worm game owned and played is always good. For those who don't understand what Worms is basically it's basically a way of blowing each other up attacking. It's a battle game. You use weapons to kill the other worms, weapons from like bazookas, grenades, that kind of stuff, and then the made-up weapons like the banana bomb, the holy hand grenade of Antioch, and of course my favourite, the super sheep, where you literally control a sheep flying from the air and blow up people. Obviously, the old lady walking at you menacingly is obviously a good weapon. This was before the concrete donkey became a thing. What is the concrete donkey, you ask? I think there was a Worms game for Xbox 360 where there was an item called the concrete donkey, which we banned in local play because it wasn't fair. The concrete donkey was a guaranteed kill on any worm. Basically what happened was a humongous concrete donkey would fall from the sky, and anything below it would just twat and kill anything. And obviously, Armageddon. You can't call Armageddon. Because that just destroys pretty much most of the field, and it's just random who dies and who wins. It's basically it's the Armageddon of Worms. But phenomenal game. I don't know what the N64 version's like, but every Worm game to this date is still crack-a-lackin'. Last but not least, we actually did pick up a boxed game. I was hoping to delay doing this again, but last week we picked up a International Superstar 64 boxed. We picked up Ronald Daniel Salsa. I'm so sorry for that. I was literally seconds away from falling to the ground unconscious. Anyway, yes, to this day, a very good game. I'm going to have to play this again, see if I can actually play this, because this wasn't easy to learn, and the AI is unforgiving. The goalkeepers do not catch things. They just, power off. It's like, no, catch the fucking ball! But the box actually looks in reasonably good condition. They sold it with the actual outside box before. I've checked by the way, it does come with manual. I'll keep the box around it just for simplicity. Not much to say really. Obviously the colours. Box stuff is cool. But once again, when you're a boy, things seem bigger. When you're a fully grown adult, this thing's so small. But this is the size of the N64 boxes, so got to get used to this. I really have. Made by Konami, so it's going to be made rather well. Elated to have the second one for the collection. And that's it for the episode. So that was a lot of N64, a lot of shovelware that we now have. But once we bought this, I haven't got to look for the carts again. Just the box versions of real questionable games. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. That was fun doing this episode. I don't know why. We sidetracked into a lot of stuff that wasn't related to N64, but I got some opinions of. Some might be slightly offensive. I hope not. Anyway, have a good day, guys. I'll see you later. Bye.